You can now get a 30-day trial to experience The Athletic for free. Visit the link in the description below to try it now.
Hello, welcome to Tifo IRL. I am JJ Bull, and today, as ever, I am joined by Tom Worville, who is still trapped inside a scattergram! Tom Worville is stuck in a scattergram. Tom Worville is stuck in a scattergram. A scattergram is a graphic representation of points referencing two variables. Hello, Tom.
Hey JJ, how's it going?
Well, I'm fine. It appears that you are still trapped inside this giant... Hang on.
Oh yeah, this is a thing.
How do you have a phone?
I mean, obviously...
You had that the whole time?
Yeah. Well, how can I get the data for this kind of stuff?
Well, why didn't you phone for help to escape the...
There's no signal.
Do you have Wi-Fi?
Let's carry on.
Fine. So you're still trapped in this thing.
Yeah.
And you have a phone apparently.
Yeah.
But also, I need to know what this is because I don't I don't understand this.
Yeah, this is probably the more kind of niche scattergram we've had so far.
I like
it.
A
lot of these things probably don't make a lot of sense, but come the end of this video will make a lot of sense. So what I've done here is I've kind of stolen some terms from basketball and basketball analytics. The usage rate on the bottom is looking in basketball terms is how much of the ball do you kind of use. Mm-hmm. So you're either trying to score, you're trying to create in a possession, or you turn the ball over. And it's the same in football. So if you're trying to shoot, create a chance, or you look to take a guy on and you lose it, or you attempt to pass and you lose it, you get tackled, all that stuff goes into usage rate, and it's how many of your possessions, how many of your touch on the ball result in you trying to either score, create, or essentially lose the ball. So that's the bottom bit. So you've got guys, if we ignore the y-axis for a second, you've got Neymar, who's always trying to do bits, and you've got guys like Axel Witsel, and that's his mate Gino Wijnaldum, who again isn't labelled, but he's there. That's him, just there.
Oh yeah, because some of the players are there, you just can't see them. You see, so there are players that I know you want to see Bruno Fernandes, but he's there somewhere. But
yeah, he's in there. He's hiding. He's
yeah.
hiding. So yeah, Neymar is always trying to do a lot of stuff. He's trying to create, score, progress, etc. Mm-hmm. And Witsel really isn't. And then on the y-axis, you've got this thing called positive outcome rate. So that is of your kind of uses of possession, how many of them are positive? And positive is a shot, obviously a goal, or you're creating a chance. So if you're Mauro Icardi, you don't really do a lot, but when you do, you're tapping into the net.
Right.
You're using it at kind of high value action. Whereas if you're someone like Benjamin Stambouli down here, who the kind of plotting algorithm fancied showing, he never does anything positive.
And I suppose your positive outcome rate for escaping the scattergram would be 0%.
Correct, and my usage rate is probably quite high as well.
Because you're trying to escape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's have a look at some players that interest me. I always like to find out where Lionel Messi is, and he seems to be really very effective.
Yeah, you've got kind of the sweet spot around here of like him, De Bruyne, Luis Muriel, who, but Scattergram FC we're a big fan of.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So, these are guys who are using quite a lot of the ball, but they also are creating a lot as well, Messi and De Bruyne are great progressors, scorers, creators. We always kind of think of it in those three terms. They excel in doing that. And that's opposed to Neymar a bit, who does slightly less in a positive way, and he tries a lot more than those guys do.
Basically like a ball hog.
Yeah.
So he's the guy at five-a-side that never ever passes, but will pull off something amazing sometimes and then think they're the best player. Yeah. And they're not the best player.
Yeah. So that's those guys, and you've got a kind of like profile of midfielders who are kind of more attacking, like a lot of attacking midfielders are in that bit. Mm-hmm. And then around here, you've got more of the strikers who are obviously using the ball a bit less, but when they are, they're going to be shooting.
Who are we talking about here, like Lewandowski and...
Yeah, Lewandowski, Haaland, you've got Karim Benzema here as well. So these are guys who are, I guess, more traditional number nines, who a lot of what they're trying to do is not see the ball too much, not use it too much, because they won't get it too much. But they just want to create. They want to score really. Scoring is what they're on the pitch to do.
So it interests me then that Ronaldo still seems quite involved in a lot of bits there, but you've got Mauro Icardi is so far like positive outcome rates. Is that going to be because of the quality of chances? Like Icardi, PSG have played a few different systems over the last couple of seasons, But generally he plays as he's a poacher, is what he is. So when they get into attacking positions, he doesn't really touch the ball at all in the build-up. He just manages to be in the right place at the right time, like a kind of Miroslav Klose type player, to tap it in.
Yeah,
so you'll
get full penalty box striker, really. I mean, that's a perfect example there of what he has to do. I mean, he doesn't touch it all that much. I think he's one of the lowest when it comes to strikers in terms of their share of touches as a team. His touches per 90 aren't a lot, but all the touches he gets, the majority of them are in the penalty area. So yeah, he is a kind of a quintessential box striker.
This kind of thing. Little cross in, they do all the work. These boys do all the work. He just turns up, finds a space, boop.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting because he's so unique. Like, look how far ahead he is of everyone else. There's probably other kind of poacher-esque strikers in Europe in the last few seasons, but there's no one near, no one quite as near as Icardi in doing so.
That's interesting. Is there anyone else in there that you think I should know about that I haven't mentioned?
I think, Witsel and Wijnaldum around here are really interesting because these are guys who are very secure on the ball. Their usage rate is really low. They're not turning it over much. But they actually do pop up and create the odd chance or score the odd goal. And again, they're quite a rare breed in this scattergram where there's not many players who do that. You see Wijnaldum's role for Liverpool is always I always thought of him as a pressure reliever. When things get a bit hot, he'll come down, kind of turn the pressure down a little bit and allow them to kind of build up play from there. But he's decent in the air. He was making a few late runs in the box for Liverpool last year. We'll see him in a more attacking role for PSG. I think that's a really interesting role that, again, like Icardi, is extremely specific and you don't really see many players doing what they do.
I like it. And then what I also like about this one is that all the sort of best players in Europe are there.
Are highlighted,
because they're useful. They have good usage of the ball.
Yeah, exactly. And there's probably a bit of a bias where if you don't do that, you won't show up. One interesting name on here is Adnan Januzaj, actually, who's just around here. Fairly high usage, doesn't do too much from a positive outcome point of view, but obviously he's an attacking player. And all these guys around here, the higher up you are in your positive outcome rate, kind of the better if you have the same usage rate as everyone else. And that's what makes Messi so good, is because he turns the ball over, slightly more than Januzaj, but he obviously creates so much more. And that's kind of obviously the big difference between those two.
There, you heard it here first. Lionel Messi is better than Adnan Januzaj, and I'm glad I learned that. And I now know what the scattergram means. I like it. It's good.
Good. Did my job. I'll exist here forever, as always.
Well, maybe he'll escape, but only if he improves his positive outcome rate. Thanks for watching.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including David Ornstein, Daniel Taylor, Ollie Kay, Amy Lawrence and Rafa Honigstein. There are journalists dedicated to each Premier League team, so every fan gets the coverage they deserve, not just the big clubs. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.